Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. It's December the 24th, Christmas Eve morning. Before I introduce my partner, Chip Chirimbus, I'd like to wish, and we'd like to wish each and every one of you a very Merry Christmas. Hope all of you have a safe holiday season, and good luck and God bless, folks. Chipper, how are you today?
I'm wonderful, absolutely great, and ditto to your sentiments about the holidays and Christmas. To everyone out there, be safe, and hopefully my resolution, Ross, is to make it to next year. And I think that's what we're going to have to work on, with this pandemic and all the other issues we have.
Yeah, this pandemic's thrown us all for a loop. As a matter of fact, like I said, we're recording on Friday morning, the 24th, and there was a game scheduled tonight between Memphis and Hawaii. And Hawaii, was it yesterday that the game got canceled, Chip?
Yeah.
It's you got to think that Memphis was probably there for at least 4 or 5 days ahead of time, and Hawaii pulls out because of COVID issues. And that's what we have to deal with these days, Chipper. It's an element that we had not had to deal with prior to last year. And again, I go back to what we discussed before. I just don't know how you pull the trigger early on these college football bowl games or even the NFL right now with this pandemic. It seemed to subside for a length of time and everything was under control. Now with this new variant, things have spiked again, and it makes things awful difficult, and it makes our job a little bit harder because we really have to wait to almost we could have early in the week, but you still have to wait and see what line developments there are, and then last minute guys testing positive for COVID.
Well, what are we supposed to do with this A&M Rutgers Wake Forest situation? I mean, Rutgers, the kids were probably all at home for Christmas break, and now they're being called back to school and have had 8 days to prepare. And I'm just wondering what kind of situation the Scarlet Knights are going to have. Are they ready? Are they going to be prepared? Or do they want to play? I mean, they haven't played football now in 4 weeks. And are they going to be in game shape when they play a week from today?
I find, Go ahead, Chip. I'm sorry.
Well, what I was thinking, if somebody had mentioned, I said, it probably would have been pretty good if they had asked Army to come and play another game and they'd have a rematch against Wake Forest. Know that the cadets are in shape and they're playing. They only played a week ago, so but it very, very unique situation. A 5-7 bowl team who got blown out on their last 2 games against Maryland and Ohio State, and here they are. Maybe Shiano will have them up and ready for the game, but it's a tough call.
Yeah, I would, just thinking about it logically, and we've been doing this a long time, I just don't see how you stop and start that quickly and expect Rutgers to come up with a big effort. And then on the other hand, what makes it difficult is how motivated the other side's going to be to play a 5-7 team. And again, Wake Forest, like you just mentioned, it's not like they're used to being in the limelight. They've just gone through a pretty special year that took them to the ACC title game. And yeah, your point about Army, if anything, if they did do a rematch with Army, we can almost be assured that would be a pretty entertaining game based on their regular season game that finished 70-56.
Yeah, that was a 10-7 game, 10 touchdowns to 7. And I thought our 3.5 would be good, but we weren't counting touchdowns. They were counting total points.
Actually, 10-8. 10-8. Yeah.
We would have covered. See? There you go.
There you go. All right, Chipper. So, we got plenty of bowl action ahead of us, and we're not trying to go too far ahead. We're going to be taking a look at a couple games on Tuesday, the 28th, which is 4 days away from taping. Not something I would release this early again, but we have a schedule to upkeep here, and let's do the best we can with it. So, what do you got for us on Tuesday, the 28th in college football?
The game, when I looked at this game, it looked so one-sided and so opposite that I had to take a step back and say, reconsider it, because things that are that, they don't hand you gifts like this, and it's not that obvious. I mean, here we have West Virginia, and you and I have talked about how horrendous they are on the road. They were 2-4 on the road this year, 0-4 as underdogs. And as a matter of fact, on the road as underdogs, Ross, in their last 18 outings, they've only covered 3 times. They're 3-14-1. They're 3-13 in bowl games. And they're only getting a meager 4.5 points from a Minnesota team, which was 4th in the nation in total defense, only allowing 285 yards a game. Had a really good season. You know, too bad they blew their opening game to Ohio State. They had that big lead and then ended up, I think, getting a push, plus 14 points in the opener. But they've only committed 10 turnovers the entire season. They're 9-4 as favorites, 4-0 in their last 4 bowl games. So, of course, me being the Antichrist during the holidays, I'm going to have West Virginia here because it just makes no sense. It looks impossible to take the Mountaineers, and I think that's why I'm going to have them.
Okay, so you're taking West Virginia plus 4.5, I believe they are.
Yeah, I expect it to go bigger. Even the fact that West Virginia is like only covered 5 of 22 games at neutral sites. So I expect this game, I expect West Virginia somehow to end up covering this spread because it's so illogical. It just doesn't make any sense. Minnesota just looks so easy to me. I mean, it looks like it's the one side to beat. They were 7-4 against the points this year. And West Virginia, of course, was an abomination. So that's my side.
Yeah, if you want to have a parallel, you could look at the BYU and UAB game. You had a BYU team that was number 12 in the country, and they're laying only 7 points against an unranked UAB team that was 8-4 in Conference USA, and lo and behold, UAB pulls the outright upset. So there's a good.
Ross,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I said, and UAB was my 8th straight megabuck winner in college football. You know, we've been running it the last 2 months, and we posted UAB as our top play, and they did win outright. So I don't think I have the nerve to do that with West Virginia, to use them as the best bet. But what I'm trying to say is the same. It's sort of like the same scenario.
Yes, it's a parallel. That's all I'm trying to say. And you know what? I'm going to stay with that theme, Chip, because you rubbed off on me over the years with these types of scenarios. Again, folks, you know, I was a technical handicapper for a long time, but I've not steered away from that, but I've incorporated other things, and you have to evolve. And during this time in climate that we live in right now with COVID, and also the fact that bowl season, you have to handicap bowl season much different. You almost have to throw the statistical data out the window on certain occasions. And again, along the lines of what Chip just said, I'm going to take a look at the Houston and Auburn game, which is the Birmingham Bowl that will be played in the state of Alabama, where Auburn resides. Auburn is a 2-point favorite in this game. Now, let's stop and think about this, folks. We have Houston, who's number 21 in the country. They come into this bowl matchup with an 11-2 record. Their only 2 losses came in their season opener at a neutral site against Texas Tech, who's a bowl team, and also in the AAC championship game against number 4 Cincinnati, who will be facing Alabama in one of the college football playoff semifinals. Right. Having said that, Auburn enters this 6-6. They've lost 4 in a row to finish the regular season. Their starting quarterback, who was hurt at the end of the year, Bo Nix, who seemed like a lifer at Auburn, he decides to go and transfer. So not a lot of positives coming out of Auburn, other than the fact that in their regular season finale, they took number 1 Alabama to double overtime before losing. But it just seems senseless. I mean, how is Auburn at 6-6, a 2-point favorite in this game over number 21 Houston? And I could tell you why is the strength of schedule is just, you look at these 2 teams, other than them playing Cincinnati, Houston really hasn't played anybody. And look, that loss against Texas Tech, that's a Texas Tech team that's not very good. They're in a bowl game, but it's not a top echelon Power 5 conference team. Now, I'm going to take Auburn here, Chip. I just think that this is set up for, it's a sucker play. It's a trap play. And I'm going to take Auburn here, -2 over Houston. And you're going to take Minnesota plus the 4 or 4.5, whatever have you.
West Virginia.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
plus the 4.5 over Minnesota. So
Right.
there you have it, folks. Chip, tell the folks what you have going on and what's coming up.
Well, we're streaking now in the NBA and college basketball with our best bets. And like I said, in college football, we've hit 8 straight best bet winners. The last one was UAB outright. And looking for a big time game of the year through the holidays in college football. And really excited about it because this is the time where we hang our hats. Big games, big money. And these are games you can step out on. These are games you can play with confidence because we've got a whole plethora, the entire season to evaluate what's happened. And it's come down right now where, you know, the difference between Ross and we struggled in September because we didn't have anything no one had a resume. And now we've got a lot to base our selections on and feeling really good and riding high in college football.
Yeah, there you go. Chip Chirimbus has been around a long time, folks. You can find him at chipwins.com. There you can get his daily packages, his weekly, monthly, annual. You can give him a call. His number is pasted right on the homepage of his website. And a guy who's been doing it successfully for an awful long time. That's chipwins.com. You can find me at rbwins.com. Folks, college football has been awfully good to me after a terrible start. I'm 30-17 with my last 47 in college football, which is good for 64%. Also the NFL, over the last 5 Sundays, I've gone 12-5. Not bad, folks. So, and then again, college basketball, 10-4 the last 14. The NBA, my top plays in the NBA this season, I've given out 6. I've won 5 of them. And overall, I've gone 58-41 with my last 99 picks in all sports. That's good for 59%, and that'll make you a lot of money. That's rbwins.com for me, chipwins.com for Chip Chirimbus. Until the next time, once again, folks, have a very Merry Christmas. Have a safe and great holiday season from both myself and Chip Chirimbus. Until the next time, good luck and God bless.